Recording in progress.
All right. Yeah, the robot lady yelled at me that it's being recorded. All right, we're good.
Uh, Hi, hello, and welcome to a very special whatever the hell this is. My name is Jared Russo. I'm the mayor of Video Game Town. That's a fake title, obviously. I'm just one of the few people who runs the website and writes and does the podcast and does the videos and does the social media and does everything. But today, I'm so honored. I am so excited to be talking to one of my favorite creators on the internet, a fighting game guru, an expert on combos, just a generally soothing voice to fall asleep to when you're on YouTube late at night. And you're like, you know what? I just need something calming. JMCrofts. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I didn't know I was here with a mayor. That's pretty exciting.
A mayor of a fictional town. That's right.
Okay, could I get a key to the city at some point here, or do like a ribbon cutting?
You want to take over the town? That's fine. That's cool with me.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like, expert on combos might be a little too high praise for me, but I get the voice thing a lot, or at least I used to more. I feel like every YouTuber kind of goes through the arc where like when you first start out, you're a little more timid, like you don't raise your voice as much, and then as you get more comfortable on the mic, you get like more animated. My
Yeah.
old videos, I talked a lot more quiet, and yeah, people would be like, "Bro, it's like." It's like Bob Ross. Like I could fall asleep, but I was like, oh, I guess I need to be more animated, so I'm a little more like that now.
ASMR Crofts.
Yeah.
So this is either going to go up in late May or early June of 2026. So we are in EVO season. There's been already technically an EVO that happened this calendar year. There's
Hmm.
all sorts of new games, um, games that like are hopefully not dying. League of Legends 2XKO or 2KO or whatever the hell that game is. There's a lot of exciting stuff. New seasons of games, rumors about a new NetherRealm game. Who knows what it could be? We'll get into all that stuff later, but the first thing I wanted to talk to you about, how many times have you yourself been to EVO in Las Vegas?
Oh gosh, I have to do math. My first one was 2011,
Okay.
and then I think I missed one. So what would that be? Like 15 Evos, something like that. Or
Wow.
maybe this will be my 15th. Anyway, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So yeah, I've definitely seen it go through a lot of changes. Evo now is very, very different from when I first started going. And when I first started going, Evo was already kind of Hollywood. Like Evo started out much smaller, and then yeah, it's just been growing every year. So yeah, it's crazy what it's become, but I still like going every year.
Well, I'm so glad I have you on because I'm going for the very first time. It's actually going to be my bachelor party trip.
Oh
So,
my god,
yeah,
congratulations
thank
on
you.
both counts.
Yeah, so during most of Friday and Saturday will be Evo, and then who knows what shenanigans we'll get up to on Sunday as like because not everyone wants to sit for 12 straight hours in an arena
Yeah.
watching, games or whatnot. But I wanted to have you on because I wanted someone to help guide me through the experience of going to Evo in real life for the very first time.
Yeah, well, I think it's never been a better time. Probably, it's funny that you're doing it for your bachelor party. One of my friends did that a few years ago. But I think you're being smart because he was like, "Oh, we should get in on Wednesday so that we have a day with no tournament." Or it was either Wednesday or Thursday. Anyway, we had an extra free day before the tournament, and then we had all the tournament days. And I was like, "That is just too many days in Vegas." By the end of it, we were like, "We got to get out. You can only stay in Vegas for so long before you kind of go insane from all the like." Because you can't tell the difference between day and night,
Yeah.
and like there's secondhand smoke everywhere and you're hungover every day. So yeah, it's like being in Vegas for too long definitely makes it go a little bit crazy. But yeah, I mean, for your first Evo, yeah, it's really nice now. I think that Evo is enjoyable whether you're playing or not. I think that's a big thing that's changed. And probably more than any other tournament, like there's just so much to do. A lot of people talk about Evo now as being kind of a hybrid convention and tournament.
Hmm.
So like obviously if you're there to play, it's good for that. Like the tournaments are really well run these days for the most part and not running late like they were back in the day. And there's lots of casuals that you can play too. They got bring your own console setups where people will have whatever games set up, and they have arcade areas where you can play all the old games. So there's a lot of playing to do, but there's also like stage presentations. They'll have developers of the games come up and talk about give presentations about what to expect in their games. They'll have like show matches. I know they're having like Ludwig versus Tyler 1 this year, which some people are excited about. I'm a Ludwig viewer, so I guess I might watch it. I ran a game show at EVO the last couple of years.
I've
So
watched those.
oh, awesome. Yeah, those are
Yes.
fun to do. So there's always there's a ton of stuff, and there's like vendors, there's like swag, there's like the Crunchyroll booth where you get
Oh yeah.
anime swag. So yeah, there's a lot to do. So it's really fun.
Yeah, I the best thing I can compare it to in my mind, other than having just watched Twitch streams and videos of people covering it, is many years ago at New York Comic Con. This is pre-pandemic. Capcom would go and they would have like you could play
Mm.
Street Fighter V early, and there would be like a booth and there would be like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and it was very much like the a convention for nerd ephemera and Japanese companies to sell you things. I think one year they had a gigantic arcade cabinet that was like 20 feet tall with like
Oh
huge
damn.
buttons with MVC1, but like the buttons like you couldn't like do anything.
Yeah, that's the other thing is yeah, like upcoming games too. Like I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have Marvel Toke on there.
Yep.
Avatar Fighters. The timing for Avatar Legends is a little unfortunate because the game literally comes out like what, like 2 weeks after Evo or something.
Yeah, not
It comes
ideal.
out really, really soon after Evo, so I'm sure the hype won't be that insane for that game because we'll probably have had the chance to play it in a beta, assuming they're going to do another beta. But anyway, yeah, you can play upcoming games, usually like upcoming characters. If we know by Evo who might be an upcoming Street Fighter character, they might be playable. Who knows? Or maybe like 2XKO. I I can't remember if Senna is gonna be in 2XKO by the time Evo happens. I can't remember, but anyway, yeah, stuff like that is playable too. So if you don't mind waiting in lines a little bit to play these games, I waited so long to play Tokon last year, and then like I would get through the line, and I would just get back in it and wait again to play again. So yeah, stuff like that's really good too.
Um, yeah, so I'm looking at the slate of official games, um, and like who knows, maybe there will be games there that aren't even announced. I
And there's also indie games too.
That's
So
right.
like smaller developers like I don't know if you saw there was a fighting game recently announced called Shot One Fighters. Have you heard of this one?
No.
So Justin Wong and I, we actually just announced that we are part of the team on that game. Uh, we're
Ooh,
kind of like consultants slash testers slash. Uh,
nice.
but anyway, the point of the game is that it's a roguelite. So it's kind of single player focused. It's a roguelite fighting game.
Oh,
So
that's
it's like
great.
every run, it's like, oh, this run I get a laser, and I haven't had that before. And then you can get like different power ups. So yeah, we're helping them out and like coming up with ideas for power ups and stuff like that. Like, what if there was a power up that made it like Bloodborne, where when you hit enemies, you like recover some of the recent damage that you, so yeah, stuff like that. So anyway, that game was at Evo last year, and I don't know if they're going to be this year, but yeah, there's a lot of like smaller games like that. I had to get my quick plug in. If you guys haven't checked out Shot One Fighters, you can wish list it on Steam now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, go for it. This is both the time and the place to
Yeah,
tell
for
people because
sure.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think it's kind of a smart idea, because everyone's like, how do we make fighting games like easier to get into so you're not just like hopping online and losing to people who are really good.
yep.
So I think having a good single player is really helpful. So yeah, hopefully
Yes.
they can nail that.
Yeah. I mean, there was a game that came out last year called Absolem that was a roguelike, but also like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And
Mm,
those two things blended really well together.
yeah.
And that also kind of felt a little bit like a fighting game in small snippets where you had different combos.
Yeah, I mean beat 'em ups and fighting games share a lot of DNA with like Capcom and
Yeah,
Final Fight. Now we got the Final Fight characters in Street Fighter. So yeah, there's a lot of crossover there.
yeah, a lot of shared history. I remember going to a CEO back in college, and Dive Kick was like the thing. Dive Kick was like the biggest. We were like, this is the greatest game. Bailey's in it, and his head
You
explodes,
got
and
the
like,
two giant buttons, like the stick where it's
yeah,
just one button for dive and one button for kick. Yeah.
I love Dive Kick so much.
Yeah, dive kick was sick.
I I don't know if this is gonna make the final interview, but I have to humble brag. I was one game away from making top eight against Justin Wong
In dive kick?
and Dive Kick. Like if I had
Oh,
won, I would
nice.
have went to top eight like winners and like had played Justin Wong in the ring. in,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. You could have
yeah.
done like an entrance and everything.
So close. I blew it.
Justin's clutch though. It's hard. It's hard to get one over on
No,
Justin.
I wouldn't have beaten him, but like that might have been the year that Mike Ross broke the cage. Like this is such old. I'm an '09er, so like this is all like,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
me
in
too.
college.
Me
Yeah.
too. Okay.
I'm in college. My friends are playing, and we were getting good together so that we would go online and like you'd
Yeah.
pass the stick and do, yeah, God,
So with Street Fighter 4, you're kind of
yeah,
first. Yeah, me too. All right. We're on the same generation
yeah, the
here then
same
it sounds like.
timeline. Because like like for me, like apart like the group of guys I'm going with are not necessarily diehards like I am.
Hmm.
They played Tekken and Soul Calibur and Mortal Kombat and Smash Brothers their whole lives, and only when the '09ers and that sort of started to snowball did they start watching competitive footage and, oh, I know that guy, I know Sonic Fox, and I know this, I
Yeah.
know Hungry Box and all these other people. And now it's sort of become like a thing that I can talk to other people about. And, hey, did you? Oh yeah, I watched, and it was really fun to see Punk win or to see Meta upset Daigo or whatever. Um, but at the same time, like I never got into it competitively until Street Fighter 4 came out. Um, but man, I got to tell you, five broke me. Five, I was just like, this isn't
Yeah,
fun
there
anymore.
was definitely it was like a weird ebb and flow with like
Yeah,
Street Fighter 4 like rocketed
God, it was
fighting
great.
games, back to basically the SF2 days in terms of popularity.
Yeah,
And then it was like SF5, everyone was like, "Oh, it's just like a weird product that like looked really ugly in a lot of
yep,
ways. It shipped with no arcade
bare
mode.
bones.
It was
Yeah,
just super bizarre." And then I think Capcom kind of earned people's trust back a little bit
yeah.
by the end of SF5. I think the DLC was really well received. And now 6, I mean, obviously there are problems with 6 as well. I think, people complain about certain things with the game, but like in terms of, yeah, bringing Street Fighter back to the forefront of the genre, they like really nailed it. And it actually feels like a game that you get your money's worth when you buy it too.
Yep.
So that's a good thing.
I mean, it helps that there's a really robust single player.
Yeah.
Finally, it looks phenomenal. It plays great. There's just a general sense of enthusiasm and excitement that has been really like lasting the test of time ever since the
Yeah,
release.
like the game just keeps selling. Like it
Yeah,
it still gets like good sales figures. And I don't know if you look at like tournament numbers, but it's just insane how much bigger SF6 is than every other fighting game right now.
yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen a disparity like this even since the SF4 days. But even then, it was like, well, Tekken 6 was really, really big back then too. Now, like Tekken 8 is big, but SF6 at EVO Japan was like 10 times bigger,
yeah.
like literally an order of magnitude. So at EVO Vegas, it probably won't. EVO Vegas SF6 will be the biggest game for sure, but it won't be like an order of magnitude bigger. But yeah, like the popularity of SF6 is really crazy.
Yeah, there's a whole conversation to be had about like the popularity specifically in Japan and
Yeah.
like pay-per-view and like all sorts of wacky stuff, but I'm not equipped to discuss that. I'm more interested in when I show up, it's going to be hot, so I got to wear shorts and I got to know the spots on the strip to go. Like, there was always a Popeyes across the street from the CEO forever, and they always tried to get Popeyes to sponsor, and then they moved to Daytona, and it was a whole thing. So, like, are there like go-to places that like the insiders know about Ego Vegas?
It's gotten a little trickier now that Evo is at the convention center. The convention center is a little bit tricky to get to because it's on like the very far end of the strip. But my recommendations for people, I would say first of all, if you can avoid staying at the oh, I forgot the hotel that used to be the Las Vegas Hilton. Hold on. Oh, the Westgate. If you can avoid staying at the Westgate, do
Okay.
so. The Westgate is one of the closer hotels to the venue, so a lot of people stay there, but it's really bad. I wouldn't recommend staying there. The Resorts World is pretty good. That's another one of the closer hotels. It's pretty good and it's really, really big. So there's a lot of rooms and they're not that expensive. It usually doesn't sell out. And if you do stay at Resorts World, it's super weird. The best way to get to the venue from Resorts World is the Tesla tunnel thing. Have you heard about this?
No.
The Las Vegas Loop, which is it's literally an underground tunnel that has like Tesla drivers in it. it's like a rideshare thing, and
Hmm.
it's pretty cheap. It's like $10 a day or something, $15 a day.
Wow.
And it's super fast. So if you, because like walking, even though if you guys haven't been to Vegas before, even if things are geographically close together, it still takes forever to walk between them. Like a
Yeah.
half-mile walk in Vegas takes like an hour because you got to go like all the way around these massive buildings, and they don't want you walking in Vegas. It's not a walkable city. So yeah,
Gotcha.
like if you stay at Resorts World, you can use the Tesla thing. If you have a little more money, I think this is one of the more expensive hotels. Is Fontainebleau,
Okay.
which is one of the newer ones, and that one is walkable to the convention center. It's really close, so that's another thing that some people do. But yeah, I think it's a more expensive hotel. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can stay at other hotels and either Uber or take a really long walk. But I think it's nice being close enough that you can go back and forth throughout the day. Like I really hate like I show up at the venue at like 10 and it's like, oh, like I want to go drop my stick off at my room. I'm tired of carrying it around. And it's like I don't want to have to,
Yeah.
walk an hour or like take a 15-minute Uber just to do that. So it's nice being close enough that you can just go to your hotel room when you want to. Or sometimes you just like I just want to lay down for a minute, or I like I don't know, I feel dehydrated. I want to go back to my room and like just drink some water. I mean,
That's
they have
smart.
water at EVO too, but yeah, like stuff like that. So I think it is nice being at one of the closer hotels. So I would generally recommend it if possible. But yeah, those are my main tips. Yeah, food is crazy now in Vegas because everything is so expensive. Like
Well,
even like fast food places are crazy
yeah.
expensive in Vegas. They've just raised the price of everything. So yeah, it kind of sucks being there. If you're willing, like Ubering out of the strip onto like downtown Las Vegas and just going to a regular restaurant there, like usually the Uber plus the bill at the restaurant is still less money than just eating on the strip because restaurants on the Vegas strip are crazy overpriced. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. There are a lot of good restaurants in other parts of Vegas off the strip that I would recommend, but I don't really want to like blow them up. I want them to be my secret so people don't know. But yeah, like Zen Curry House is a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's In and Out Burger as well. A lot of people go to In and Out, but you kind of have
Yeah.
to Uber over there. So
Yeah.
yeah, that would probably be my biggest food recommendation is try to get off the strip if you can. It's worth it.
That's a good tip. So I'm not necessarily afraid of expensive things because I don't know if people who are watching this, I live in one of the most expensive places on earth.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was wondering about that because from watching, it seems like they're just handing out Red Bull and Chipotle left and right to everyone in the crowd from how often they commercial breaks and say jam.
I've never gotten free Chipotle, man. I don't know.
What?
I'm doing something wrong. I never get free. But I think last year they even had like the Chipotle party bus or something. They had like this bus that you could get on, and it drove everybody to Chipotle. I was too scared to get on it, but I saw it last year, so I don't know what's going on.
I want Jam to hand me a burrito.
Unfortunately, I don't even think Sajam's going to be at Evo this year.
That's the other thing. It is heartbreaking that a lot of my friends wanted to meet certain people.
Mm.
Like Maximilian dude is not going this year. He'll
Oh,
be
I
doing
didn't know
his
that.
yeah, I
Okay.
think he's doing his own thing at home. Um, there's a couple other, but like if you really wanted to like go star hunting, like the big names who are competing, I'm sure you'll see them on the stage at some point, or maybe there's a meet and greet or whatever.
Yeah, and that would be another one of my like first timer tips is like definitely don't be afraid if there's someone that like Justin Wong, whatever, if you know him as a player or someone who you watch on YouTube, don't be afraid to like say what's up or ask for a selfie. But my one piece of etiquette advice is just be aware if they just lost. That is not the time. I've seen this happen before where like someone loses a close game and they're like upset. They're like so mad. It takes a good like 5 minutes to get the salt out of your system. But
That's
then
so
someone like
funny.
immediately comes up. They're like, big fan. Can I get a selfie? And like, yeah, they'll do it. They'll say yes, but they might not have like the happiest expression on their face if they just lost like a clutch
Yeah,
match. So just be a little cognizant of that. But for the most part, yeah, I don't think anyone would mind if you want to say what's up. Like even the internet has made things very weird. Like it's weird to me that people know who I am
yeah,
because I'm just a guy who sits at home making YouTube videos. But yeah, it definitely doesn't bother me or anyone else I know when people want to come up and say hi. I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah, Justin Wong is a sweetheart, by the way. I've met him before. He's so
Yeah.
nice. I would just say generally, and this is because good tips for all of life. Don't be weird. Wear deodorant and just like be polite. Like just
Yeah.
yeah, who knows what's going on with people, like don't hey man, just you shoving a phone in people. Don't do that. Just, be a person. Be a normal person.
Yeah, I hope that the personal hygiene thing doesn't need to be said, but I guess it actually does because every tournament there people complain about people being smelly. So yeah, especially in Vegas, it's so hot, man.
Yeah,
It's I mean like inside it's cold because they have the AC like cranked
thank
up to a
God.
million, but yeah, if you go outside in Vegas for 5 minutes, you're gonna be like covered in sweat. So yeah, have good hygiene, guys, and brush your teeth and mouthwash too.
Yes. There was one tournament. There was a separate room for Smash Brothers, and the difference was night and day. Where we were like, "Oh no, I'm not walking in there." Oh my God! And it was like, "What are the Smash Brother players up to?" What? All right.
It's always like a factor of like closeness to like how many people are in like a small place. Yeah, it's a problem. I heard I didn't go to EVO Japan this year, but I went last year,
Oh,
and
nice.
they really like this is kind of like other countries just don't have as strong of AC as America. This is just like a general rule. And Evo Japan AC was like non-existent last year when I went. It was so hot in there. And I heard that they were improving it this year, but I haven't heard any firsthand reports about whether it's better. But yeah, like Evo Japan in the venue was like 100 degrees. It was horrible.
Wow. Um, Before we move on, I've been to Tokyo and I've seen buildings where they have separate rooms for chain smokers to just like smoke indoors, and I found it to be such like a delightful, whimsical detail of just like, yeah, we have to accommodate to all these people who are in pachinko parlors just puffing away as they sink their coins. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, I think that smoking in Tokyo has really they've really downgraded smoking stuff recently. Like now you can't even really smoke on the sidewalk. So now
Mm,
they have like separate areas on the sidewalk where people go to smoke. So I think they're kind of trying to remove the secondhand smoke stereotype of Japan for the most part. It's gotten better. And Vegas in the casinos, obviously, you can still smoke. I think, as far as I know, that hasn't changed. So
that's
yeah,
wild.
if you're sensitive to secondhand smoke, yeah, you might want to bring a mask or something.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely not like it used to be. It used to be crazy. It was just like smoke everywhere. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know who's watching or listening to this if you're young. In the 90s, there used to be smoking and non-smoking sections in restaurants. Like,
it is crazy to think that you just go to a restaurant and like smell people smoke while you were
yeah,
eating. Like that is a crazy idea
it would
now.
happen. Um, all right, so I have the list of games for Evo on my screen. There's a whole bunch. There's obviously the big hitters like Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 and Invincible Versus and Virtual Fighter 5. And some of these I actually forgot.
Yeah,
Guilty
it's
Gear,
interesting
BlazBlue.
because yeah, previously the way it would work is that they would have like the official Evo games, and it
Yep.
would be a relatively small list, like 6, 7, 8 games. And then they would have like the side games, and then starting a few years ago, they kind of like upgraded the side game thing, and they wouldn't be a part of the official lineup, but they would still get access to Evo's like setups, like they would have consoles and stuff provided by Evo. So they upgraded them. But this year they've kind of destroyed that separation. And now everything is a main game for the most part.
Yeah.
So there's a really long list of how many is it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fatal Fury, Uniel, Grand Blue,
Yeah.
Rivals of Aether, Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, Virtual Fighter 5,
Vampire Savior.
Vampire
So yeah, like
Savior.
in
Yeah.
previous years, some of these games, like definitely like Vampire Savior and Rivals of Ether and like Virtua Fighter, these definitely would have been like side games before,
Yep.
but now they're part of the main lineup, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, obviously it's a ton of games. Like I imagine from like a logistical perspective, it's very hard for them to run this many, but I think it's cool that all these games are getting equal treatment as like main members of the Evo lineup, even though some of them are much older and much less popular than games like SF6.
Yeah, there was always concern in recent years about like timing because they wanted certain games on the Sunday, and then
Hmm.
there was a top 8 to top 6 transition that they've gone back on.
Yeah, thank God. That was
Yeah,
yeah. Top six was a very bad era, so I'm
yeah,
glad we're back to top eight now.
yeah. There was always that one random match that would happen Saturday night late,
Yeah,
and it was like, no, 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 this is for top 8, but like also like whoever gets eliminated is not showing up tomorrow, and you're like, what,
yeah,
what?
yeah. I'm
Bizarre.
glad they fixed that for sure.
Um, I was wondering if you had any. Are there favorites for most of these games? Like, are there like one or two names that you're like, that's the betting favorite? I don't know if you can actually legally bet on these things, or if it's just side bets. People are just
Yeah,
taking dollar bills on the
I,
sidelines.
you would think that someday that would have to happen, right? That like
Yeah,
you're in Vegas, you should be able to go into the sports betting room and bet on EVO.
yeah.
But as far as I know, that doesn't exist. And now EVO being partially owned by like Saudi Arabia, will that even
Uh,
make that harder? I'm not sure. But anyway, for favorites for the there's a lot of games where I just don't know enough to talk confidently. Like a lot of the anime games like Under Night, Blaze Blue, Central Fiction, I don't really know who the favorites are anymore. Street Fighter 6 is pretty interesting because it's a very volatile game. And we have players like Mena RD, who I think is one of the big favorites.
yep,
Like he's a favorite to win every tournament.
that is
He's
correct.
he's got like a ton of records. One of the only players to, or the only player to win 2 Capcom Cups, I believe that is the case. But then he got like 65th at Evo Japan, which like stuff can just happen.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's SF6 is one of those games where yeah, there's players that we're on the lookout for. Punk, Tokido, stuff like that. Knuckle Do, players who you expect. Fudo, these players will probably make top eight, probably, but like stuff just happens. Sometimes there are crazy
yeah.
upsets. So that's what I would look out for in SF6. Like the big names, I think you're going to see a lot of people you expect, but there's definitely going to be a lot of people you don't expect too.
It seems like since I started watching in '09, there has always been one random, specifically Japanese player who I've never heard of who makes top 8, and then the next year or the year after, I'll be, oh, of course, him. Yeah, obviously. But like
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
make the top 8 the first time, you're like, who? Um,
Yeah, and I mean the person who won Evo Japan in SF6, Yamaguchi, I think is a player that not that many people were familiar with, and he won the whole thing over Punk. So yeah, it's definitely like there are new stories being written all the time. I guess we could say.
yeah, there's always new people to learn who become famous to us, Ending Walker and Blas, and there's always these
Yeah,
new upstarts. Um, I think it is amazing that I've been watching for so long that it's always been like America's never gonna win. And then as soon as Street Fighter 6 came out, it's been North America dominant. It has been Punk and Mena RD representing NA.
yeah. I think
It's great.
definitely there are more competitive regions now than ever before, and not
Yeah.
just in Street Fighter as well. Like in games like Tekken, it used to just be like Korea or
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
But now, we've got Korea, we've got Pakistan, Japan, and even America, like Joey Fury, has been winning majors, making top eight in a lot of majors. So, yeah, a lot of games are becoming more international now that there's not like Japan getting the game like 9 months early, like happened with Street Fighter 4 and a lot of older games. Like
Yep.
there's that, and now the online is better. The fact that the US is really spread out was always like a big disadvantage because it was like you couldn't just, go play with the best players in your country because half of them would live, so many hours away. So, yeah, the gap is really closed there.
Thankfully, there have been. It seems like it went from. This is such a weird reference. Like old NBA, it was like Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell, and they would win a lot of things.
Hmm.
And now it's like so many different types of players from different parts of the world and on different teams can win a championship. And it seemed like it was a lot of like, oh, did Perfect Legend win again? Oh, did Nee win again? Like, did
Right.
this person win again? And now it's like, I would not be shocked if any of the favorites were they get knocked out and it's a completely new, fresh crop of competitors. It is not so specifically dominant of one person in one game or one sort of franchise.
Yeah, like for the first couple years of Street Fighter 4, it was basically like, oh, Daigo's in this tournament, he's gonna win.
Yep.
Like he won 2 EVOs in a row.
Yep.
He would just win like every major that he entered, it felt like, and that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there are some like Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. I feel like Shao Hai is kind of that.
He's incredible.
Yeah, like not only is Shao Hai like probably unambiguously the best SNK player, like the best Fatal Fury KOF player, but he's also like one of the best at Street Fighter,
Yeah.
which is it's just unreal that anyone can be that good. I think he definitely deserves a nomination to be one of the fighting game goats of all time. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy, but that's
Absolutely.
probably who would be my favorite for City of the Wolves. But again, obviously, like Goichi won Evo Japan last year. Um, Another big multi-game all-star. So
Yeah.
yeah, there that's up in the air, but yeah, some games have strong favorites. 2XKO is an interesting one because we just got a big update for the game that added a new fuse that allows you and your teammate to attack at the same time, which this is basically the first time in the game that there has been a explicit advantage to having a human teammate. So like, you know, you can play that game where you control both characters, or you can play that game where you control one character and another person controls the other. And I feel like people have always thought it's a disadvantage to not do everything yourself
Yeah.
because you can just play more perfectly because you know what you're doing. There's no miscommunication between
Yeah.
two people.
Yeah. You're not trusting another person to get it right.
Yeah, exactly. But now there's a new fuse that
Hmm.
it incentivizes having two real people. And a lot of people, it just came out today, so we don't know that much about it. But a lot of people are saying it might be very strong. It might even be meta to run two real people. So that could definitely shake up the meta because we've seen teams do well in that game, like Sonic Fox and Inzem have top aided majors before. But now it's like they could be a threat to be like the undisputed best team if this fuse is good. So I'm interested to see what happens with that game as well.
Uh, are you telling me that a brand new DLC character or update right before a giant tournament is overpowered? What?
Okay, now right
What?
before, it's not right before. It's it's what is it, over a month until EVO, or is it about a month anyway? Yeah, if it's really problematic, I could see them patching it before EVO because 2XK was really fast with the patches and
Yeah.
they got a little bit of time, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, that does happen a lot, right? It feels like it. Like they're like, oh, we
Yes,
forgot
it
to look at the
does.
calendar. We didn't realize that there was going to be a big tournament one day after this update.
Like, do you know how often for years and years and years in a season of new characters, the DLC characters will come out kind of broken, maybe to sell more DLC packs. But like
Yeah,
when it comes to tournaments, it's like a lot of these new characters, even recently, M Bison and Terry and OnlyFans May, like it's just there's so many new characters and it's like wow, they're like really good right out of the bat. Like not
yeah.
always, but
SF6 has been mixed. Like we've had characters like Elena, who I think was below people's expectations. This
yeah,
season in general has been a little interesting, um, because like it seems like they're kind of trying to soft nerf some of the hated strategies of the game. So like throw loops, a lot of the new characters don't have super good throw loops. Like Lena doesn't have one at all. And like crouching medium kick drive rush, I think so far no character from this season has had a cancelable crouching medium kick. So it's like they don't want to have crouching medium kick drive rush be that OP. So they're making some weird attempts to rebalance the game without changing the old characters. That's been one of the weird things about SF6 is like they just seem a little scared to change the game too much. Maybe it's because it's so successful.
yeah,
Like people have been complaining about the same things in that game since day one. They've been complaining drive rush is too good, throw
yep,
loop is too good.
yep.
Um, and they haven't changed it at all. So it's been interesting to see how they've approached balance for that game. But yeah, with some games, DLC has been like I think Tekken 7 is maybe like the worst ever in terms of, they add Geese to the game, he's top one. They
Akuma.
add Leroy to the game, he's top one. They add Fukamram to the game, he's top one. Like that game was crazy about it. So I think we've gotten a little better over time. But I mean, 2XKO added a Kali, and some people say she's top one. So maybe we haven't left that era. I don't know.
I'm still scarred from Ultra Street Fighter 4 Elena healing multiple times around. God, that drove me up a wall.
And that one was crazy because those all those Ultra characters were ports from
Yeah,
SFXT from
wonky
Cross Tekken.
hitboxes and
Yeah, so they were all a little
whew.
weird. They were all a little bit messed up. And then they even nerfed them too. They nerfed Elena. There was like even in the SF4 days, there was like an emergency patch to nerf Elena, and it didn't do enough. She was still too good.
Those are the days. So speaking of Street Fighter 6, there are many rumors online. We will not be getting into that. I'm not interested. I want to know for real what's real when they show it. But do you have any characters that you really would like to see? Because I have one I would kill to see
All
in
right,
Street
let's
Fighter
hear your
6.
one. Let's hear your one.
It's Dudley.
Yeah,
When's Dudley coming back?
I think mine are like Street Fighter 3 characters in general. It's
Yeah.
insane that there's one Street Fighter 3 character in all of SF6 and it's Elena.
Yep.
Like it's crazy. They are so popular. Like
Yeah.
Makoto,
Hmm.
Dudley. Like there's weird characters too. Like, I personally want Necro. I know no one cares about Necro, but
No, they could do something cool with him.
they could
Yeah.
and maybe like Urian, another beloved
I love
character, could
Urian.
definitely come back. So it's very very strange to me. Like, yeah, you would expect that a Street Fighter game these days would be dominated by SF2 characters. It's kind of like Pokemon. Like, they got
Yeah.
a Charizard is in every game. Ryu and Ken are in every
Yeah.
game. Like, you expect that, but to only have one Street Fighter 3 character is crazy.
Especially since Sean and Laura are related. Why didn't they ever continue that where they brought back Sean?
Yeah, and Sean's popular too. Like, Sean does
Yeah.
well on polls when people they like poll what characters do you want to come back. Sean usually does well, so I don't know. So like my first request is add some Street Fighter 3 character, and my second request, which unfortunately might not come true, is I don't want more guest characters.
Really?
I'm over guest characters, to be honest. I think Terry and Mai are about as good as it can get because they're fighting game characters.
Hmm.
So it's not something weird like Negan from The Walking Dead. Like, I
Yeah.
hated that. It's
Yeah.
just so out of place. I hate stuff where it's like it just doesn't feel like they belong in the game, or it feels like
Ronaldo.
an ad. Yeah, that's what I really don't like. So
Yeah.
Terry and Mai, I thought were really, really well done. They were really faithful. But even then, I would have preferred two other Street Fighter characters over Terry and Mai. So
Interesting.
yeah, I'm not crazy about guest characters in fighting games. I mean, like, I like crossover games when it's like from the outset, it's Capcom versus SNK or whatever. I
Yeah.
like that, but there are so many Street Fighter characters I want to see in 6 that I don't really want guest characters instead.
I would say Smash Brothers broke a lot of people's brains when they brought Sora over because that was a
Yeah.
real anything is possible, dreams can come true situation.
And like Cloud, when
Yeah.
they put Cloud in Smash, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff you would like dream about when you were even adding Sonic in Brawl
That
was
was a big
crazy. It
deal.
was like, wow, it's a non-Nintendo character. But at least Smash is a crossover game in the first place. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we're gonna have characters from different franchises. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, with this, I don't. And there are a lot of people who are like, oh, for Marvel Tokon, like, what if they add like Soul Bad Guy to Marvel Tokon, because like bring Arxis characters. And that would be kind of cool, but I would rather just have Marvel characters.
Because there's so many Marvel characters that,
Exactly.
like,
Because
yeah.
you're only going to get, in the case of that game, it's going to be 4 characters a year.
Yeah.
And yeah, Street Fighter as well, at 4 characters a year. Like, it's a small number of characters. So I would rather have more chances to get the Street Fighter characters that I really like.
I'll tell you how diseased my brain is. I play Marvel Snap every day. I'm a big card game guy.
Mm-hmm.
And when Danger showed up, I went, "Oh, Danger! I know what she is from Marvel Snap." And everyone on the internet's like, "Who's Danger?" And I
Yeah,
was like,
well, she was in Marvel Rivals too, right?
"Yeah." I was like, "Do you guys not know? It's the Danger Room." But Penny Parker
I
was
I
another.
played
Yeah,
Marvel Snap a lot when it was new. I was a big fan.
yeah. Um, I also think that there's a possibility that because these Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter specifically, who knows what come down to the line with a Smash Brothers movie with Star Fox and Pikmin and whatever with Mario. They're movies now, and there could be TV shows, and they could be trying to plant seeds of we're putting these characters in the game to promote the movie or vice versa. So I would not be shocked at all if sequels come out for MK2 and the Street Fighter movie coming up this later this year, where they kind of there's a little more synergy between who they're including in
Yeah,
each.
that could be. I don't want if they add Dan to SF6, don't make it Andrew Schultz Dan,
No.
please. Just
Yeah.
make it a regular Dan, please.
Yeah, I don't want to see
Dan would actually be. I think a lot of people really want Dan in
he'd be
SF6
cool.
as well, and he
But
was really well done in SF5. He was a really
yeah.
creative design. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't want to see 50 Cent as Balrog, like that,
yeah, that's like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of weird, but we'll see. Well, I'm actually kind of excited for the Street Fighter movie. We'll see. I haven't seen the new Mortal Kombat one yet, but
I figure the expectations are going to be if you like this stuff already and you're willing to go in knowing what it is, you can
yeah,
have fun with it. I
and it looks like it doesn't take itself too seriously. I feel like old video game movies always had this problem where they were like, oh, the general audience won't like it
Yep.
if like a spinning bird kick is too unrealistic. Like we can't put that in the game. The audience, or we can't put that in the movie because the audience will think it's weird. So we have to make everything like super realistic, which then everybody hates it because the gamers are like, no, I want them to throw fireballs and do tatsumakis. I don't want like a realistic movie. And the general audiences don't care. Like they don't care about Street Fighter. So yeah, I like that they're going a little silly with it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, to be fair, we did get Raul Julia doing the like across the room Psycho Crusher kind of, like he
That's
flew.
true.
So,
That's true. But JCVD didn't throw a sonic boom, did he?
no. By the
Yeah.
way, throwing fireballs in 2D works. In 3D, you just sidestep it. Like
That is
you
true,
duck
but
or
Akuma was still top tier in Tekken, so I don't know.
he
But
really
it wasn't
was.
because of the fireball, though. That's true.
No. But yeah, it's just like how would in like a big 3D space, like he would just like walk up, like, oh, it just went by.
Listen, we don't need to dig in too deeply here.
That's so funny. Well, the sonic boom would go really fast, so maybe that would just catch people
That's
off
it would
guard.
be going the speed of sound. So it's
Yeah,
like, how would you avoid that?
that's a good point. There is a joke in the trailer where Cody Rhodes as Guile. Did he just throw a fireball like out of his hands? Like, I'm glad someone also was like, what the hell is going on
Yeah,
here?
they're gonna go like full millennial humor, like, oh, that just happened. It's like, I just
Spare
I
me.
just threw fire from my hands. I guess that's a thing I do now.
Spare me from that. Um, are there any Tokon characters that you're excited to see? There's a lot of rumors about Venom or Carnage or hopefully Green Goblin, Doc Ock.
I'm kind of a Carnage believer. I
Okay.
talked about this in one of my like the thing, if you like freeze frame,
Yeah.
one of the frames from the trailer, there's like the number like 641
Of
and
the
641 was
issue.
like
Yeah.
it's so silly that I just want it to be true.
Yeah.
And I think it would be fun. Like I feel like that happens kind of rarely anymore where there's real like I don't want to say like ARG, but you know what I mean. There's like hidden clues that people analyze and it turns out to be true. I would be happy if that happened. And I think Carnage would be cool. But yeah, like I definitely want there to be like a Doctor Doom villain team. My personal pick on it would probably be Magneto. I'm such a Marvel versus
Yep.
Capcom fanboy that I would love to see Magneto in the game.
Disruptor.
Yeah, like make Magneto like a crazy rushdown character.
Gravity
Um,
squeeze. I
yeah,
love
let
him
him
so
gravity
much.
squeeze people. Yeah, Green Goblin would be cool, or like Doc Ock. Um, and then we don't really know who's going to be on Ghost Rider's team. That's like really up in the air. So I don't know. I guess like Scarlet Witch would be cool. She's never been in a fighting
Yeah.
game before, and they've said that they want to do characters who have never been in a game before. I remember there was like a rumor that Gwenpool was going to be in Tokon, but I think that was that leak was incompatible with the characters we've seen. So I think it's proven that that's not true. But I would love Gwenpool being in the game. Uh, because Deadpool in Marvel 3 kind of had like some like fourth wall breaking stuff. Like he hits you with the health bar and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So Gwenpool could do stuff like that, which I would be down for that. So
He was not great competitively, but he was so flavorful. He was so much fun because that had not been done before. Of
and
like,
he ended up pretty good. Dual Kevin
Oh,
won majors with Deadpool. So
oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Deadpool ended up he was, I mean, he was no Zero or Virgil, but he wasn't that bad. So
I
yeah, we'll
I was
see.
thinking like just like for most of the game's run where it was just
Yeah.
like he wasn't not
It's kind of
viable,
funny.
but
Like
yeah,
Marvel 3 is one of those games where like, yeah, there are broken characters for sure, but every character in the game can kill off one touch basically. So the game is a little bit balanced by the fact that like you can just kill people.
yeah,
Like that's how Kane Blue River won with Hulk. Like people didn't think Hulk was that good, but it's like it turns out if you just kill someone anytime you touch them, you can win. You just got to get the first hit.
well, also a lot of moves had armor, and that's not
Yeah, I
everyone
mean that
has that.
helps with getting the first
Yeah.
hit for sure. But
Um.
yeah, I'm really excited for Tokon. Obviously, like Dragon Ball Fighters was kind of the game that blew up my channel. So
Yeah.
having like another team game by Arc System Works, and I'm a big Marvel versus Capcom fanboy, so like having a Marvel versus game come back, I'm really really excited. And yeah, I thought the beta, like, I definitely agree with a lot of people saying like the team mechanics weren't that fun in the beta. So I like that it seems like they've listened to feedback a little bit. They've reworked the assist system. So yeah, I'm really excited to play more. I wish Tokon was going to be out for EVO this year, but they're kind of
Yeah.
just missing. It's like, what is it, August something or
Yeah, it's like
September?
early August.
Yeah.
I wrote an article forever ago where I sort of went through like the 50 characters in Marvel history that has not been in any one of these sort of games.
Mm.
Daredevil, Blade, Moon Knight,
Yeah.
Loki, Miles
Blade.
Morales,
Blade would fit really well on Ghost
yeah.
Rider's team, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if Blade is in too.
Shang-Chi, any of the Fantastic Four characters. I mean, there's so many. Um, which is crazy because like we've had 50 something in MVC2 and we had like a gazillion in it's just like but there's still just so many more that they haven't
Yeah,
done.
I'm like torn because I really want my favorite Marvel versus Capcom characters to come back. I want Magneto and Sentinel and stuff,
Yep.
but I want new characters too. I want characters we've never seen before. I like that they're doing weird stuff. Like Penny Parker, I did
Yeah, I
not expect at
love.
all. I think
Yeah.
she looks really fun. She's kind of got like a Faust item throw mechanic, which sounds cool to me. And she's also kind of like Tronbon, who's one of my favorite characters in Marvel too. So yeah, I like that they're doing weird stuff for sure. I hope they keep doing that.
Um and so I'll let you go with one more final question. Nobody knows for certain what NetherRealm is doing next. Now their games sell
Yeah.
really well because they have a big cinematic single player thing and they have lots of secrets that are great for people who are not competitive and then they have lots of online things and weird game modes and lots of legacy characters. Not what you think will happen, but what is your preference as to a new MK, a new Injustice, or something new, or bringing back Shaolin monks?
That could be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think we already made one Pokemon comparison in this pod, but I think that NetherRealm has kind of had like a Pokemon thing going on as well, where like the games sell really really well, but the fan resentment I feel like has kind of just been building over the years. I think people
Yeah.
got a little bit tired of the cycle of new MK game 2 years later, new Injustice game 2 years later, new MK game, and not really feeling like they were being committed to their games, just kind of pushing them out, knowing that people are going to buy them
Yep.
because it says MK on it. People want to see the fatalities, they want to see the story mode. So I feel like people are getting a little bit dissatisfied. So I think NetherRealm is kind of breaking the cycle. Am I correct that this is the longest dev cycle they've had on any game yet? Assuming,
That
I'm not
sounds
sure.
true, and they've also done
It
two
sounds
MKs back to back. So yeah,
Yeah, I believe that is the case, that they're taking longer just based on the fact that we don't know what they're working on. It seems
yep,
like they're spending more time on this game
yeah,
the same way that Nintendo, it seems like, is spending more time on this new Pokemon game. There's been a bigger gap. So
oh yeah,
hopefully that's a good sign for both franchises. But for MK, I've never been like a big Mortal Kombat guy. The main reasons are like I didn't grow up playing with it, so I don't have like nostalgic attachment to it. And I was never a big block button guy either. Like all the games I
yeah,
played as a kid were hold back to block. So
yep,
it's always hard for me to learn block button games. And I don't really like the gore aspect of MK either. I find it unpleasant to look at. So anyway, I was always more of an Injustice guy than an MK guy. So I would still be excited to see a new Injustice game. But I would also be excited to see the NetherRealm do something new. Um, like I don't know if they would ever do a new IP, but I would be really interested in seeing, or maybe something crazy like a crossover game. Mortal Kombat is already kind of a crossover game. They got the boys in it, and they got the alien from Alien was in
Terminator and
MK and Terminator.
RoboCop and
Yeah, it's already kind of a crossover game. So maybe if they did MK versus DC Part Two, something like that could be interesting. Or WB fighters, and then yeah, they could have like, because aren't some of the guest characters at MK?
well, I
Like, is
believe
the
you're discussing Multiverses, the real Warner Brothers fighting game.
no, but like WB owns HBO, right? So that's how they
Yeah.
have the boys. So like stuff like that, I would be interested to see. But yeah, I guess for me, worst case scenario would just be, hey, guess what? It's Mortal Kombat 13, and it's just the same thing again. Like that would disappoint me. So I hope they do something different. I guess is where I'm going with this.
I mean, to be fair, it seems like whoever runs Warner Brothers at this point, pre them being sucked up by a larger entity, they were very much tripling down on. We have big IPs. We have Mortal Kombat. We have Harry Potter. We have Lego, and we have like Batman. And so they're going to make Rocksteady do Batman. They're going to let the Lego people do Lego. They're making the Harry Potter people do a sequel, and they seem to just want NetherRealm to do Mortal Kombat because those are
Yeah.
what sells. Um, so it
So
just feels
that might
inevitable.
just be what keeps happening. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Watchmen characters because like Doctor Manhattan might. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I just want to I just want to see something. And I think, like a lot of my complaints with like MK9 and MK10, like I thought those were fun games, but I was like, bro, like these are so ugly to look at. Like the animations are so bad. This kind of, and they've improved that kind of stuff a lot. Um so I know that, like, yeah, they are like working on their games, and like a lot of craftsmanship goes into those games. I would just kind of like to see that applied more on the competitive side, and not have people feeling like either the game's going to come out and it's going to get abandoned, or it's going to come out and it's going to be a really kind of broken mess to play. I think that's what people are a little bit afraid of, just based on what happened with the last one. So
Yeah, I never liked the way you would hit somebody and instead of them hitting the ground and then scooting that way, they bounced the opposite way, like against physics. Like that never
yeah,
made sense to me.
yeah, physics and stuff is always a little weird in MK for sure.
Yeah.
And they've got the famous like tiny kick, like the MK down light kick animation that
Oh
everyone would
yeah.
always make fun of. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they always had weird stuff when it comes to, yeah, like physics and animation and stuff. But they've been improving, so maybe they can continue to improve that aspect. And then maybe getting back to basics a little bit on the gameplay, I think would be good.
Hey, here's hoping that I'm in the stands Sunday in the arena and they announce a new thing and
It could
Dudley gets
happen.
announced and all my dreams come true and they announce stuff and it's hype.
But the thing is, the bad news is there's no NRS game on the EVO lineup. So it seems to me like they are not going to have anything to say. So
I don't know. Oh my God, is that Ed Boon's music? And then he
yeah, Ed Boon
bursts
from the top
on.
rope. It could
Yeah,
happen. It could happen.
you never know. Evo, I'll be there. Will you be there?
I will be there. I mean, I
Ooh.
haven't bought my flight or anything, but I would say 90+% chance I will be there.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Please tell us where we can find you on the internet and plug anything you want.
I'm pretty simple. It's just youtube.com/JMcrofts. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already. That subscriber number is getting pretty stagnant, guys. I'd like to see that number go up. So that's it.
Um, yeah, you have any final thoughts? Anything you would like to tell the internet that you don't already have? Well, you already have a platform on your channel to say whatever the hell you want. So,
No, I just mean, if you're interested in fighting games and you've never played one before, I'd say there's no better time. Lots of new games out right now. Invincible versus Avatar Legends coming out.
yep.
Marvel Tokon coming out. I think the best time to play a fighting game is when it's brand new. Everyone's starting on square one. So I would just recommend pick one of those up, or SF6. There's a billion people playing SF6, so you can't go wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah, try one of them out. And if you need more background information on the genre, check out my channel.
Yes. Man, you know what is also it's the best time now than ever. there are many different ways to play games. I've never tried the only button arcade stick,
Yeah,
the leverless.
leverless.
I
Yeah.
wanted to try one of those, but I was like, do I get to touch one at EVO? Like, will someone just hand me one and I can be like, ooh,
Oh, they'll
interesting.
have like vendors
Oh,
where
okay, okay.
yeah, you can definitely try them. Yeah, yeah, and I would say like you shouldn't really buy anything without trying it first because I think a lot of people back in the day people would like buy a stick without trying it and then be like, "Oh, I hate this. I want to go back to controller." So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely try it out.
Okay.
I have a couple leverless floating around, but I'm still a stick player just because it's what I'm used to. It's too hard to
Yeah.
make the switch, but yeah, there are a lot of great, and there are a lot of great controllers now too. Like there are a lot of good pads out
Yeah.
there. We're not stuck with the old like your brother's knockoff controller that he hands you for the N64. Like there are really good ones now. So
Yeah. There was a very famous Mad Catz PS1 controller my brother hated, and I was like, sorry, dude, like that's what you get.
it's so ironic that Mad Catz was like, the controller no one wanted. It was like the piece of
Yeah.
junk. But then they made the best fight sticks ever in
They were
like
on the top.
2009.
Yeah.
They like completely revolutionized the fight stick landscape, which no one would have ever thought that Mad Catz would be the company to do that. And now they're gone, which is sad.
I know. What
Or
a
I guess they
weird
still
world.
exist, but now they make like don't they make like weird pass through controllers now where they make like
Oh,
fight sticks where you have to plug in your PS3 pad and it's wireless. And
I
they're
wasn't even aware
apparently
of that.
yeah, they're apparently really bad.
Hmm.
Hopefully I'm not blowing up a future sponsorship. Hold on, let me see. Do
We
they
can cut
still
this. Don't
sell
worry, we can cut this.
Mad Catz fight sticks? Do they still sell these? Yeah, they do. The Ego arcade stick,
Now I gotta look at this.
which is crazy.
I mean, I still have an affinity for like eight-way gates in mine, but oh wow, yeah, they do make them. Oh wow.
I
Hmm.
don't know if this one's passed through, but I just remember seeing that yeah, that they would that for a while they were making fight sticks where you have to plug it into your wireless controller, which is super bizarre.
Weird. Aren't wireless controllers of all sorts banned at EVO? Like you have to plug it in.
I don't know the exact rule. I think at Evo, a PS5 controller is okay, but you need to bring a cord and you have to
Yeah.
desync the controller after your match. I
Gotcha.
think
Yeah.
but third party wireless controllers, I believe, are banned.
Yeah, because you never know if someone like is like actually playing like 10 feet away or whatever and
Yeah,
pulling a Milli
yeah,
Vanilli. Okay.
yeah. I think if you play on PS5 stock controller, you're okay, but you might want to check the rules just in case. I don't know the exact rules.
Yeah, so
Oh
check with
yeah, it
your
was
local
the
TO.
Mad Catz TE3, which is crazy because they had the tournament edition and then they had the TE2, and these were like legendary controllers, and they tried to like kind of cash in on the name by making
Hmm.
the TE3. But I have not played on one, so this might be incorrect information, but I've heard it's really bad. I apologize to Mad Catz if they hear me saying that.
Uh,
I usually play on Kanba. That's kind of my preferred QA NBA. That's my
yeah.
preferred manufacturer right now. So if they want to sponsor me, that would be great. But yeah,
The one of the first results I'm getting is Reddit. The Mad Catz Ego in TE3 is a fucking joke.
that makes sense.
Okay, well, thank you, Reddit. And thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
Um, you can check out our work, videogame.town. I will occasionally write things about fighting games every once in a while. I am also planning on doing another uh, betting man's guide to Street Fighter 6 specifically, where I will go over the favorites and sort of give you odds on who I think will win versus who are long shots. Um, I I think the last two times I did it, I didn't pick the winner to be the favorite, but it was close enough that I feel good about it. So,
There you go. There
I
you
mean,
go.
I'm going chalk. It's not like I'm like pulling a name out of a hat. It's like generally people who do really well leading up to the tournament ends up doing
Hmm.
very well. You know,
Yeah, I mean it's like the NCAA. Everyone has their brackets, but no
yeah,
one ever has it perfect. So anything can happen.
that is exactly right. So, thank you so much for joining us, and you will inevitably be on again in the future.
Yeah, I
Thankfully,
hope so.
hopefully. Um, all right. Well, we will see you next time.
All right,
VGT.
thanks everybody.
Peace out.